I think last week I talked about how I'm on the board of directors for a new nonprofit called Rescue Residents, and I think the next day, um, Papa Bear sent me and the other board member like a text, and he was bidding on. He was trying to see how it works to get to bid on a vehicle from a certain website for an ambulance, because it's a place that has an auction site for ambulances, and so he bid in like I think like a little over like $5,000 just to see how like the alerts worked and like how all these other things worked in the process. He definitely didn't think that he was going to win the bid on this ambulance. He ends up winning the bid. So we're like, okay, what the fuck? Like, first of all, yeah, okay. We got the bid, so we went into like kind of scramble mode, like, hey, we need to like raise some money for this, and where is it? It's in Ohio, which is lucky because that's where Matt from Pre-Recorded Live lives, and so does Becky and Joe. And so immediately, I hit up while Papa Bear is trying to figure out like setting up like donation sites and shit. I'm talking to Matt, I'm like, hey man, I need some help. Like, we're gonna get this ambulance. How far is it from you? It's like 2 hours away from him. And so he graciously offered his help in picking up the ambulance because it runs, which is amazing, and then putting it in a safe place for a couple of weeks or months, however long it takes me and Papa Bear to get out there. Probably be a couple months because we want to get it taken to a mechanic to get some. We want to make sure they can actually drive all the way back from Ohio to Yucca Valley, which is like Death Valley in California. So it's really far away where we have to drive. So it's over, I think it's probably like around 3,000 miles, maybe more. So we want to make sure that they can make that trip. Yeah, you can look it up if you want. I'm pretty sure it's around 3,000 miles. So yeah, so that happened, and this is all in the middle of. So we already started the process. Papa Bear, he started the process of setting up the company as like a 5013C, which is basically a nonprofit. So people can donate to us and write off their donations to our company. But that's still all going through LegalZoom and the IRS. So right now we're pending for 5013C status, but it's guaranteed through LegalZoom. So it shouldn't take too long to get through that. So if anybody donates now, at the end of the year, we will find all the people that donated to us and then send out the actual 5013C information so that they can make it tax deductible if that's a concern for you. Because I know some people, when you donate, you want to make sure you can write it off on your taxes, because that definitely helps. So yeah, we started this thing and we kind of hit the ground running, even though we didn't really want to do that. And now Papa Bear has us involved with like a whole bunch of homeless organizations where he lives, to get on like various committees to like see how all these things are involved, to like how we can get funding. I know we have meetings for a person that has to do with grants early next month. We have a whole bunch of other things that we have to do, and we're setting it all up. And we luckily, over the past week, we've raised pretty much enough money to cover the basic ambulance, but we also need to cover however much it'll cost to possibly repair it, to get a mechanic to look at it, at least get it, a tune-up, stuff like that. So I will put in the description of this podcast the information of Rescue Residents. If you didn't listen to the last podcast, Rescue Residents is a nonprofit that is set up to specifically help out homeless veterans find a home. So our thing is to identify homeless veterans and then get them into an RV, onto a RV park. And we're going to have a central location first in Yucca Valley, which we're still setting up. And we're going to retrofit old ambulances for these veterans. And then they will have their central location will be at an RV park somewhere around the country. And that'll give them the physical address. So if they need to get a job, one of the hardest things for people to do to get a job, if you're homeless, is actually having a physical address. So that's one of the things that we identified first to help veterans. And one of the other things we identified is that if you happen to have a skill set in a place where you live that doesn't pay you enough money to make a living wage, then what do? And you don't have any money and you have no way to get somewhere else. Well, the RV will help. So we're going to help them, give them an RV, and then if they have a skill set that won't give them a living wage where they live, then we will find a job for them in another region, and then set them up in an RV park in that region. So that way they can, use their skill set somewhere else where they can actually thrive. So that's the basic premise of what we're trying to do with Rescue Residents.
So I found out this the hard way about if you don't have a physical address, it's actually hard to get a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like a bank account. It was super hard to get a bank account if you do not have a physical address. Getting a job, like, depending on the job, sometimes they'll be like, hey, if you have a P.O. box, we'll use that as your address. Some places won't accept that.
Yeah.
They're like, you need like a residential address. So like, that's actually something I had to struggle with like years ago. But as far as financial institutions, it's different now because now you can use stuff like Venmo, Cash App. They can basically be like a bank account for you because you can just put money on there and then like they'll send you a card and you can use it like a Visa or debit card pretty much. So it's a little easier to kind of manage money once they start getting money in, with the job or whatnot. But
yeah,
hopefully, I mean, and it's kind of easy to get a cell phone now. Like you can either get like a Cricket or whatever, and there's like programs. Yeah, but there's also programs that give out free phones. Yeah. I know there's one near us. They like give phones to the homeless. Like they just donate them and they show them how to like link up. They call it. Some people call it the Obama phone, but it's usually like phones for like the elderly. But I guess if you're homeless, you can get on the same program. So there's a lot of resources out there.
But then also with PO boxes, like a lot of the times, so these post office will be like packed, so it's hard to get a PO box. Like it's it's very hard to get PO box.
And I guess they changed their payment system because you used to pay once a month, and I guess they don't do that anymore, or something. They do some weird like tiers or something now. So I don't know. I haven't had a PO box in a while.
So either way, I mean, having a physical address at a place will definitely fix that.
A lot of
issue.
Stuff.
So that was like, I think it was like we had like two main issues that we had to like help solve these things, and I think that was number one. So I have high hopes for this nonprofit. We're learning a lot. I'm already doing a bunch of research, and I think Papa Bear has been going 100 miles per hour, doing a whole bunch of stuff, making a whole bunch of phone calls. There's a whole bunch of emails and just communications back and forth with various organizations. And we're trying to identify like where we can fit in with all these various organizations. Because to be honest, I think, me and Papa Bear, we had a podcast. It actually wasn't released because I messed up and my hard drive got full. But we had a really good conversation with somebody that lives in San Francisco about homelessness. And
if it's like the Mecca.
Yeah, and it's like
seems like
you drive around anywhere in the Bay Area and you see all of these like homeless people everywhere, and it's just like, and then you look up, like I started looking up like how much budget do they have for, the homeless, situation, and it's a lot of money, and all these things that they're trying to do, like they're ineffective, like wholly ineffective, because the homeless problem, at least where we are in the Bay Area especially, it's gotten worse over like the past 10 years. It's gotten exponentially worse in the past 10 years. And so these programs are not helping. They're getting more money, but nobody's really helping them. And I think one of the main things that we agreed on is housing first. And it's an initiative to where you have the least amount of hurdles as possible to get somebody homeless in an actual home. And a lot of the places here, in the Bay Area and other places, they want to make them go through all these hurdles. Like, are you on drugs? What's your mental state? All these other things. And it's like, can't you just get them a home and then figure all that other shit out? I mean,
yeah,
it'd be way easier. Like, people's mental health would probably be way better in an actual home. So if they have mental health issues, do you think they're going to be worse or better in a home or out on the streets? So, and then I'm seeing like where my tax dollars are going for homeless situations, and I see literal things in the Bay Area that make it so homeless people can't even sleep in certain places. Like they'll put spikes up so people can't sleep there. And it's like, that's where our tax dollars are going to cause pain on people that need help. And people just think that's totally acceptable. Oh, well, we don't see them there, but that's a person. You know, that's a person. And so, go ahead.
It's also crazy because, like, you know, some of these programs, so say if somebody is able to get into a program, I mean, not so much a veteran, but maybe like a person who's recovering from like drug addiction or something like that. If they relapse, they're kicked out of the program, and it's like, yo, like, that's when they need more help. Like, they need to kind of, they felt like they faltered, they something came up, some stress thing that's caused them to lose control, and they end up smoking or getting high or whatever again. It's like, these programs are set up for people to fail, and it's not there to just, you know, to keep them on their toes and keep moving. Like, it's so sad when you hear about stories about like people who fell off the wagon and they're kicked out of the program and they end up on the street again.
Yeah, and I mean, we've all made mistakes. I mean, but for some of us, those mistakes that can be minor for some, could be catastrophic for others. You know, if you have a stable family system or good friends and stuff like that, and you make a mistake, you can rely upon them. But if you don't have those people around you that can help you, especially in the Bay Area, like, if you don't make a certain income here, you're literally like one paycheck away from being fucking homeless. One. And that's crazy to me. And so I think working with veterans is going to be of great help to me personally, because I want to be able to give back to people that serve. I want to be able to serve those that serve. Obviously, everybody listens to the podcast, you guys know I'm a Marine. Obviously, I'm not active anymore, but I love this mission that we have, and I think we can do great things. And we're already starting. You know, we already have the first piece of getting an ambulance, and then we're going to convert it into an RV. And we're going to document the process of everything. And we're going to have a podcast hopefully sometime next week on Balance Exchange. We'll release it on here as well. Just talking about like the whole thing, how we got started, and what we're going to do. So.
Will you guys like make like a video documentary about it, or just audio?
Yeah, when we go out there, I think me and Papa Bear are gonna do a video, like a vlog thing of like actually going out to Ohio, meeting up with Matt, seeing the ambulance for the first time, and then driving all the way back. Hopefully we don't fucking break down, but it'll be interesting, like driving an ambulance anywhere. So yeah.
I'm kind of a little jealous. Like, you've got to see Matt, Joe, and Becky, and this will be your second outing.
Yeah.
You're the only one from the podcast that's actually seen them live and direct. Yeah, even though we've had them on the podcast numerous times, but
we have. It's gonna be a bonus, especially because I'm
but you broke bread with them literally.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to actually Matt cooking for me again.
Oh my god! He's even like stuff that he posted that he thought was just like okay or didn't come out the way he really wanted looks like fucking amazing. I'm like, dude, you think that this was not okay, like not very good? This looks crazy good. So yeah, it didn't come out the way I wanted, or it was like, like whatever specific is missing or something. I'm like, dude, this still looks amazing. So.
Well, I'm jealous because it'd be cool to be part of something life-changing, something that have an impact on somebody's life. And it's interesting because, like, there's here in the Bay Area, they're trying to do the whole tiny house community for the homeless. But, like, yeah, that's cool and all, but, if your skill set isn't making you enough money to where you can sustain a life on your own, like, yeah, tiny house is great and everything, but, you can't move into you can go to a regular house. Yeah. Work your way up, but like definitely be able to be mobile where you can move to an area where your income is more appreciated for a house. Like instead of paying $3,000 for a 1-bedroom apartment, you can pay $3,000
$3,000 for a studio. $3,000 for a studio. Yeah, not a 1-bedroom. Yeah, and besides, Blue, you know what you need to do in order to, affect people's lives. Just be Batman. Like you said you was going to be.
Well, I mean, in the future,
I wish.
There's ways you guys can help. Obviously, you can donate, and then there'll also be things like in the future where we'll need help with various things. This is one of the crazy things that occurred to me, like as I've been, talking to my friends and family, is like how many people that I know that have offered like not obscure help, but like help that I didn't really think about. I've had people come to me with financial help. I had people come to me with help with actually getting ambulances possibly donated for free. I've had people, there's a couple other ones too, but I've had like a bunch of people that have reached out, with video editing, with a bunch of other stuff. And it's just like, I didn't realize like how many of my friends could help on something like this that might not be just like the direct financial means. So
If you need a photographer, I know a guy.
yeah, you see, like, there's like all these things that I didn't think about before that are definitely helping.
Even like a little bit of construction stuff too. I mean, I built a house technically, or a little shed,
Yeah,
shack, a shed, a studio.
A
Yeah,
minute.
but also like I don't know, like mechanical stuff. Like Chronos and I, like we car guys, so we know a little bit of ways around the engine. So if it's something simple, but then again, I'm gonna pull a Riggs, not Riggs. What was Dennis Glover's character's name in
Murtaugh? Is it Murtaugh? Yeah, Riggs and
Was it
Murtaugh.
Murdoch? I think it's
Yeah.
Murdoch. Was it?
I thought it was Murtaugh, like Murtah.
No, I can't
Well,
remember now.
To quote him, I'm too old for this shit, Riggs. Like,
Yeah, Riggs and Murtaugh. Oh, Murtaugh.
Murtaugh.
wait,
yeah.
fun fact: isn't Danny Glover from the Bay Area?
I know
No idea.
I know he
Maybe?
was. If he's not from here, he at least lived here for a long time. Cause my stepfather, he actually sold a bunch of clothes to him. So
He was born in San Francisco.
yeah, that's where my stepdad's shop was. Not anymore, but yeah. If
So
you want,
I have
go ahead.
one of my ex-girlfriends. She graduated college with his daughter.
Wow.
Yeah. What is Danny Glover still around?
Yeah, she's still around. Don't you put that juju out there.
Oh god.
I heard they're trying to film a new Lethal Weapon too. So I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah.
So,
How
but
did,
it'll be fun to see.
Oh, all he needs
how
to do,
old is-
he needs to link up with goddamn what's that? Sylvester Stallone, get on his Mexican supplement regimen, and he'll be all right. I'm just saying, that guy's on all kinds of fucking steroids.
Damn.
he needs to be in the next Expendables. You need to be in Expendables 4.
Expendables.
Expendables. But yeah, man, like I'm really excited about your nonprofit. It sounds like it's going to be changing some life. I hope the best that it's as successful as it should be, and I hope it's it gets to the point where it's not just for veterans, like it's actually helping out more than that. But veterans they fight for our country. They have like all these mental health issues, not all these mental health issues, but like they're suffering, and I feel like the government kind of just oh, okay, you serve for us. Like, here you go, bye.
Yeah.
You want the program? Sorry, we don't have anything for you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that part is bad, but it's also, how do I put this? It's almost not a blessing in disguise, but so like the VA, they have like apparently they have identified a bunch of homeless veterans, and I didn't even know this. Papa Bear said he already talked to them. We can use their actual database to actually find these homeless veterans. So it's like super easy for us to like figure that shit out. So we don't have to go out and like find like the vast majority of them. There's already a database with the VA of like, hey, these people, this is where they generally are. These are their names, and we can go out and find them pretty easily for help if they want the help. So yeah.
Yeah, that's another issue. Like, you can offer help to someone, but they have to accept it. If they don't want the help, then
Yeah.
not a whole lot you can do.
What's also great is that Kronos knows this fucking by heart, but like a lot of these veterans, especially like if they start off in like living out of the ambulance or whatever. And wow, I really just I actually
said it, ambulance.
yes, ambulance, in the paramedical van. But no, like it's cool because like veterans they get like great like loans for like first time home buyer programs, something like that, or like no money down, so like they can slowly start to build up that I don't know, the American dream basically of owning their own home and this and that. So
Yeah.
there's
And the plan
pretty
is
cool.
to just give them the RV. That's the plan. Is to give them the RV, and then it's theirs.
Okay, so you don't expect them to like donate it back, or
If they find a permanent housing, then they can give it back, or we could buy it back, or have like a sort of donation thing going on. But the first thing that we're worried about right now is just getting them into the RV, and then this. I think another phase will be how to get them into permanent housing, and then working with housing first initiatives and programs to get them into permanent housing if they decide to go into permanent housing. So, but we're not worried about that part right now. I mean, it'd be nice to be able to recycle some of these RVs if some of them come back, but if not,
Yeah.
I mean, it's theirs. I don't want there to be like hooks involved. So yeah, keep it. It's
Yeah.
our-
And that's like that's a really cool thing because there's a financial guy that I follow, and he talks about how like if you give people money, like by you giving that person money, they're basically like your relationship changed. You're no longer friends. You're basically I don't want to. It's gonna sound very racist, but it's master and like whatever because they owe you money, so you're constantly like wondering about money. But if you give somebody money for free, like don't even think about it. Like it just eases stress on everybody.
Yeah, I think as I've gotten older, like anytime that somebody's asked to borrow money from me and I've given it to them, I assume that they're not going to pay me back.
Yeah,
That's just what I assume. Like, and I don't. That way, it makes it easier for me to not sort of resent them. Like, because if this maybe sounds familiar with somebody that ever loaned your friends money. You loan your friends some money because they're down on their luck, and then you're friends with them on some sort of social media, and they got through whatever they're gonna get through, and then you see them like spending money on a bunch of extra bullshit, and it's just like, well, can you pay me back? Like, I see you going to clubs and doing all this other shit, but you still owe me money. Like, why don't you pay me back? So my policy now is if I do loan somebody money, I assume that I won't get it back.
yeah. That's I gave my niece $3,000 for her to pay for college, and she said she was gonna she got a student loan that was supposed to be coming in and she was gonna pay me back, but like she started ignoring my calls and stuff like that. When I would ask her like, hey, we're about to buy a house, did you get your student loan, blah blah blah, and never heard back from her. I was like, you know what? I left her a voicemail. I was like, hey, it's your uncle. Just want you to know that money that you owe me, just consider it a gift. You don't need to pay me back. Just continue paying for college and work your way through. And whenever you become a dentist, I just want I've got a couple of years of teeth cleaning for free.
Yeah, there you
That
go.
was it. Yeah. But yeah, that's fucking great. I really hope this becomes very successful, and we'll see you on the news channel like, oh, the Wolfman Prophecy have saved over 2,000 veterans.
Mhm.
Yeah, hopefully we can. I think I think we got a good plan, especially after like seeing, like doing like a bunch of research, reading papers and like watching videos and news stories and all that shit. It's just like the disservice that we're doing with homeless people in general, but especially like veterans. And it's just like, yeah, we can do better. So let's we're gonna take the first step on doing better. So yeah.